So I'm going to talk a little bit about how to open the tight dies. I make these tight so that they'll cut thin metal cleanly. That's what I always say. I always keep saying that. And the tightness I am talking about is different from certain other dies that are maybe difficult to open because the metal is thick and stiff. This is different from that. The tightness I'm talking about is the tolerance between the male and female cutting edges. You can see this one is, I can't close it just with my finger pressure. And it's a little difficult to open. Well, this is why we're here talking about it. Most of these I make so that they will open simply by banging on the something solid. I break them in, get them loosened up enough so that most of them will open like that. That's the normal way. That's the way I have a diagram of in the standard mail-out sheet. And some of them are going to be loose enough so that they will open up with finger pressure. A lot of them, I just got it done with a batch of little tiny leaves where, like this, where even though it might open with just your fingers, it can be well, it can be dangerous. These things will bite you, and it's uncomfortable and fatiguing to do a large run of pieces like this where you have to stress your fingers out. So the other basic way, where's that little puppy? Oh yeah, here's my standard hammer is this thing, and it gets into most large and small dies, so it's simply a matter of banging it there in the design area up as far away from the bottom of the hinge as possible. Banging on the hinge down here does not help, so you want to hit it right there on the design, knock that open. Now with some of these small ones, you can use where the hammerhead is too big, even a small one. You might want to use something like this, a punch. You want to get something, ideally something with some mass in it. This is a nice one, and you can, grind that end down to get as small as you need it. A little tiny one like this it's harder to get the momentum that you need. It'll work on some, but you can see it's a little difficult. So something with a little more mass is going to be better. Now the other thing, another way to do it is with this little device here. Not a device, it's just a plate of metal with one little pin in it. Let me zoom in on that a little bit. All it is just a block, and there's a pin sticking up right there. 3/32 inch welding rod sticking up about 1/8 of an inch or so. And what we do here is just set the die on there again with the contact being up in the design area. We're going to be aiming for right up in here. So we just set that down on there, tap it just like that. So some people might want to set up a little block like this right next to the press. That's a very good approach. Again, even when they will open just by banging on them. Let me zoom back out here. Like for long runs, when you have to bang on something like that for hundreds or thousands of times, it can get fatiguing. So that's where also the hammer will come in handy, and also this little device. I keep calling it a device. It's just a plate with a rod sticking up out of it. So let me see if I've covered everything here. Yeah, that's all the basic stuff. So I guess that's it for now. Well, there's this interesting one. Again, it's very tight. This is tight enough to cut, you know, like 36 gauge soft metal if you have to. Um, so it's a good one. It'll tap open like that. Or it'll also work here. Now, if you're using this method, you just want to make sure that you sort of set it on there and then move it over. It'll drop down into position. Again, I'm aiming for spots at the extremities of the design is what you want to aim for. You don't want to do it again down here in the hinge. The contact point should not be down here. Needs to be, would probably work up in the middle there. Let me just try that. So I'm aiming for right there in the middle. So yeah, that works. So play around with it, see what works. But those are some of the options for getting these babies open, and easier ways to do it, because we've run into lots of weird situations and lots of weird dies, and I try to make it easy as possible to operate these. So that's it for now. Thanks. Adios.